This is Euonymus fortunei Emerald Gaeity. It's a variegated winter creeper, and it's an evergreen shrub slash ground cover slash vine. I find this plant kind of odd and hard to categorize. Why I like showing you this particular planting is I think it demonstrates some of the strengths as well as the weaknesses or oddities of this plant. So let me explain what I mean by that. If you'll notice, the plant is kind of leaning into and crawling into the neighboring plants, and that's why this is called winter creeper. It's a bit like a ground cover, but you'll notice that most of those shoots are kind of pointed upright, and that's what it tends to do. It's not great at spreading horizontally. It's more of a vertical creeper, if that makes sense. And so I'll get into what I like about it in design. Obviously, here's a good shot of the leaf. It's a green leaf, greenish gray, with a white margin on the leaf, so that variegation there. And you can see it against this boxwood on the right, where you get your nice contrast in foliage color. So it's nice in shaded areas or where you're trying to create contrast with deeper greens. And it does tolerate shade quite well. I'd say part shade's ideal, especially in hot inland areas. If you get 90 to 100 degrees with low humidity in the summer, this is going to favor part shade in those conditions. It is evergreen. It is hardy down to about 0 degrees Fahrenheit. Height-wise, listed at 2 to 5 feet by different sources tall, and I think again that has a lot to do with whether it has support or something to lean against. I prefer to keep it around 16 to 18 inches tall and top it off a bit and get it to go horizontally. I like it as a foreground filler myself, and then 2 to 3 feet wide or so. Moderate water, once it's established, it can be quite drought tolerant, and yeah, now it does flower, but the flowers are inconspicuous. Now, Euonymus fortunei, the family, is listed as being invasive. I don't know this variegated variety to be that way, but I cannot say specifically that it's not. I will tell you that in California, Northern California, where we are, I've never seen this as an invasive plant. But in other areas where it's more favorable, condition-wise, it may be. I'd say those are the main things to tell you about it. I just say that, you know, as a design element, be sure you understand what you're in for. This is not an easy plant to control. I think that's its biggest problem as a design element in the garden, is that it wants to ramble a bit, and any plant that behaves that way is a maintenance headache as far as I'm concerned. So I'm kind of lukewarm on this plant. It has its spots, but I think you really have to make sure you understand what it's going to do and that you're willing to deal with that. That's what I can tell you about Euonymus fortunei Emerald Gaeity, variegated winter creeper. Enjoy.